Okay, so just now at 6 o'clock, we had a session especially for my P5 and P6 student on the various problem-solving strategies on the topic of ratio, fractions, and percentage. So we had a very good session just now. Those of you who are with me, okay, you know that some very useful strategies that you can use. Okay, and in this particular session, it's a continuation of what we have done last week. Okay, last lesson, sorry, which was sometime in July. Okay, so in the last lesson, we covered 5 different types of speed question. And I must say that speed questions in the PSLE, it is quite a tough question. Okay, any question that comes out on the topic of speed, okay, it is usually in paper 2 and it will be worth 4 or 5 marks, usually. Okay, sometimes it could be 3 marks, but very rarely you see a speed question in paper 1. Okay, so what does this mean? It means that when you start learning speed, initially it was quite manageable, very simple, just applying the formula, okay, to the situation given to you. But as you go on to study deeper and deeper, many students struggle to understand the different concepts, the more challenging questions and concepts on speed. Okay, but the good news is that speed, the question on speed, it takes up a maximum 5% of the entire exam paper. Okay, it's only 5%. It will not be as much as on the topic of fractions, ratio and percentage, area and perimeter, on the topic of geometry. So speed is relatively carries a small weightage. However, those of you who are aiming to get an A star or high A, you must try your very best to score in the speed question. Okay, so in the last lesson, we covered 5 types of speed question, which is journey by parts, average speed, same direction, start at the same time, same direction, start at a different time, closing the gap, same direction, start at different time, opening the gap. So if those of you who missed my last lesson, you can always go to our YouTube channel and look up for P6 speed, PSLE speed question part 1. Okay, so in today's session, it's a continuation, right? Because it's quite, there are 3 other types of speed question that I want to share with you. Okay, so that at the end of these 2 parts, you are familiar with this 8 type of speed question. And I believe that, if you are familiar with these 8 types of speed question, you'll be able to do any kind of speed question that comes out in the exam. Okay, of course, it will not be exactly the same question, but you need to do a bit of fine-tuning to your answers and to the methods, okay, to derive with the answer. Okay, can everybody? Okay, all of you stand by your papers and writing materials, calculators. All okay? Can, okay, let's take a look at the 6 type of speed question. Okay, in the last lesson, we did the first 5. Okay, so today we are going to start with the 6th type of question, speed question, which is moving towards each other from the opposite direction. Okay, moving towards each other from the opposite direction, starting at the same time. Okay, so I have a little illustration for you what I mean by this. So let's say you have these two girls. They are cycling, all right, and they are moving towards each other and starting at the same time. All right, so maybe they start at 10 a.m. in the morning, they're cycling towards each other. Okay, so this is one type of question that is quite common in the exam. Okay, let's read together. A car left town A at 8 a.m. and traveled to town B an average speed of 60 kilometers per hour. Okay, so the car left town A at 8 a.m. and traveled towards town B at an average speed of 60 kilometers per hour. At the same time, okay, at the same time, let me take up my drawing tool. Okay. Okay, at the same time, you can see here, at the same time, a lorry left town B for town A. That means you can see that it is from the opposite direction. Okay, at 11:30 a.m., the car and lorry were 85 kilometers apart after passing each other earlier. Now, this is an important information because when they are going towards each other, okay, it could be that they have not passed each other or they could have passed each other. So you need to look out for the information given to you so that you're able to draw the correct distance speed timeline. Okay, so if the car arrived at town B at 1 p.m., at what time would the lorry arrive at town A? Okay, so you can see this is a typical exam question and it can be very confusing if you stare at the question. Okay, like I always say, always start by drawing. Okay, for question on fractions, ratio, and percentage, we use lots of models, we use lots of unitary method. Okay, for speed, there are certain techniques. Okay, one of the technique is for you to draw the timeline. Okay, and putting all the information inside. Okay, so I've drawn the timeline for you, the distance speed timeline. Okay, so this we have not calculated anything. We are just illustrating it using the timeline and putting all the information given to you in the timeline. Okay, this is very important. Many students, they take this for granted. Okay, now let's take a look at the question again. A car left town A at 8 a.m. So I draw the car for you. In the exam, you don't have to draw a car. Okay, maybe you just put C here, car, no problem. Okay, at 8 a.m. to town B, right? Towards town B. This is town A, right? This is town B. Okay, you can see the direction. You need to put the arrow also. So in the arrow, it tells you in which direction the car is moving. Now at the same time means what? Also at 8 a.m. You can see the time, the starting time is the same, 8 a.m. And the lorry left town B for town A. You can see here, this is in the opposite direction, okay, for town A. At 11:30 a.m., the car and the lorry were 85 kilometers apart after passing each other. So that means the lorry from here, okay, at 11:30 a.m., the lorry will be here, right? This will be the lorry. And the car will be here. Okay, this is the car. Okay, and they tell you that they are 85 kilometers apart. You can see here, this 85 is from here to here. Okay. So the question is, at what time would the lorry arrive at town A? So they ask you, at what time the lorry arrive at town A? Okay, the other information given to you is that if the car arrived at town B at 1 p.m. So the car, we know the car reached town B at 1 p.m. So straight away, we know that, you can see very important clue, 8 a.m., 1 p.m. So 8 a.m. to 1 p.m., how many hours is that? 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 1. 5 hours, right? That means the car took 5 hours to travel from town A to town B. So this is another important information, okay, that is not immediately given to you, but you can derive from the timeline itself. Okay? All of you okay with the timeline? All okay, yeah? So you have to draw as clearly as possible so that the examiner understand what is going through your mind. So if you do not illustrate using distance speed timeline, model, or any kind of illustration, any working, the examiner will not be able to give you any method marks. Okay, so very important that you show your working, your steps very clearly. Okay, some students, especially those of you who have very untidy handwriting, then you have to try your very best to be as neat as possible in the exam and to illustrate, to show whatever it is going through your mind, you put it down on a piece of paper so that the examiner, at least if you get the wrong answer, they are able to see through your working and try to understand your thought process and try to give you marks. Okay, now we examiner, we do not like to penalize student anyhow. Okay, we want to give you as many marks as possible, but you need to show to the examiner that you understand. Without writing the steps, without writing the working, nobody can understand what is going through your mind. Okay, that's why very important. All right, now let's take a look at the steps. Okay, so here the lorry, the car is here, and the lorry is the car is here, the lorry is here, right? After they pass to each other, and the distance is 85 kilometers apart. Okay, let's see the working. Now, when the car has reached the end, right, at town B, so the lorry would be somewhere in between, right? Remember, the lorry has not reached town A. Okay, so the question is, at what time would the lorry arrive at town A? Okay, right? So now let's calculate based on all the information given to you. Let's do some working. All right, you always have to start doing something, right, rather than staring at the question. Okay, so we know that the speed is given, the speed of the car is given to you, which is 60 kilometers per hour, and we know the car took 5 hours to travel from town A to town B. How do we know? Because 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. is 5 hours, right? So the speed is 60 kilometers per hour and the time is 5 hours. So distance, remember DST, some students forget this formula. Please don't forget DST, to find distance, speed multiplied by times. And of course, you need to ensure that the units are the same before you multiply, right? Sometimes you need to leave your answer in terms of minutes. Sometimes you leave your answer in terms of hours, right? Depending on the units given. Okay, so the total distance, right? The DT, T stands for total. All right. So the total distance, right? Because the car, we know, start at 8 a.m. and reach town B at 1 p.m. Total time taken of 5 hours. So since the speed is 60 kilometers per hour, 60 times 5, you get 300 kilometers. So we know the distance between town A to town B is 300 kilometers, right? 60 multiplied by 5, okay? All right, it will be 300 kilometers. All right, so this is the first clue, first additional clue given to you. Okay, next. Now you know the distance is 300 kilometers. Let's calculate the distance traveled by the car from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Okay, so we know the car traveled from town A to here, right? At this point, and then the lorry here, right? Okay, so from 11:30 a.m. to 1 p.m. Okay, now from 11:30 to 1 p.m., how long is it? It is 1.5 hours, right? Now, since the speed of the car is 60 kilometers per hour, now distance is speed times time, 60 times 1.5, 90 kilometers, right? So this is 90 kilometers. Okay, so what is the distance traveled by the lorry then? Okay, the total distance traveled by the lorry, okay, because since the lorry traveled from here, right? So from 890 kilometers plus 85 kilometers, you get 175, right? So from here to here is 175, which is the distance traveled by the lorry. Now, what about the speed traveled by the lorry? Right, since the distance is 175, okay, and the time taken, right? The time taken from here to here, 8 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. Because remember, the lorry also started, okay, at 8 a.m. okay, and then reach this part here at 11:30 a.m. The total time taken, total duration is 3.5. Okay, so 100 and speed is distance divided by time, right? So distance is 175. How we get 175? 90 plus 85 divided by 3.5. You get 50 kilometers per hour. Okay, so the speed by the lorry or the speed of the lorry is 50 kilometers per hour. Right? Now, since we know that the total distance is 300 kilometers, and so the question asks, okay, what time would the lorry arrive? So we want to find out how long did the lorry take to travel, right? The entire distance. So since the entire distance is 300 kilometers and the speed of the lorry is 50 kilometers per hour, so time is distance divided by speed, which is 300 divided by 50, you get 6 hours. So in total, the lorry took 6 hours, right, to travel from town B to town A. And the question is, what time would the lorry arrive? Very simple, since he start at 8 a.m., right, plus 6 hours, you get 2 p.m. as the answer. Okay, got it? Quite easy, right? Not too bad, right? Okay, so this is quite not bad. Okay, later on, the next question will be much more challenging. Okay? All right, let's move on to the next question. Any question, class? Do you want me to repeat this? All okay, quite clear. Okay, very good. Let's move on to the next question. Next type of speed question. Okay, type number 7. Okay, what is type number 7? Type number 7 is moving towards each other from opposite direction but start at different time. This one little bit more challenging. Okay, little bit more challenging. Okay, moving towards each other from opposite direction but start at different time. Just now, okay, it started at the same time, right? 8 a.m. But now we start at different time. We don't know. Okay, it could be one 8 a.m., the other one unknown time. Okay, now let's take a look at this question. Okay, let's take a look at this question. Now a bus travel, okay, a bus travel at a uniform speed from town A to town B. Okay, a car passed, it passed a car which was traveling at a speed of 80 kilometers per hour in the opposite direction. So take note, in the opposite direction. 4 hours after they have passed each other, the bus reached town B and the car was 30 kilometers away from town A. If the bus took 9 hours for the whole journey, find the distance between the two towns. Okay, so here if you keep on staring at the question, impossible you'll be able to solve the answer, solve the question. Okay, all right. Okay, so what do you do, class? You start by drawing the distance, speed, timeline. Okay, let me draw for you. Okay, let me draw for you. Okay, let's illustrate this. Okay, so a bus travel at uniform speed from town A to town B. Okay, so you draw a straight line from town A to town B. This is a bus traveling at this direction. Okay, it passed by a car. Okay, it passed by a car at a speed of 80 kilometers in the opposite direction. So this is the point where the bus passed by the car. Okay, so this is the point. Take note here. Okay, it passed a car which was traveling at the speed of 80 kilometers per hour in the opposite direction. 4 hours after they have passed. So 4 hours after they have passed, that means the bus here plus 4 hours. Okay, the bus reached town B. Okay, the bus reached town B. Right, and 4 hours after the car has passed the bus, okay, the car will be 30 kilometers away from town A. All right. So if the bus took 9 hours for the entire journey, right? The bus took 9 hours from town A to town B. Find the distance between the two towns. Find the distance between A and B. All right. Okay, so I'm going to give you some time to do. All right. Now, all of you stand by your paper and your writing materials and calculators. I give you about 3 minutes to solve this question. Okay. Can all of you do now? Uniform speed is constant speed, yes. Uniform speed means constant. Uniform means the same. Alright, please try and solve this question. I draw for you the timeline already. Okay. Try your very best. I really must try. Okay, try your best. I'm not going to tell who is right, who's wrong yet. Okay, I give you some time to do. 3 more minutes. Don't worry about my picture, Danish. Focus on the question. What beautiful. Danish, focus on solving, please. You don't get it, try. Not that difficult, 4 steps only. Only 4 steps. Yes, only 4 steps. Okay, I give you a clue. The answer is not 670 kilometers. The answer is not 670. Okay, I give you all a clue. First step, find the distance traveled by the car in 4 hours. Find the distance traveled by the car in the 4 hours. Okay, that means find the distance traveled by the car. Step number 1, find the distance traveled by the car from here to here. What is the distance here? Right? They tell you that the speed of the car is 80 kilometers an hour, right? So from here to here, since the car took 4 hours, yes, very good. So 4 times 80 kilometers per hour, you get 320, right? So this is 320, correct or not? So this 320 and this is 30. So find the distance from here to here. That's step number 2. Okay, so I've already given you 2 steps. Okay, so now you have 2 more steps. Easy peasy already. $630 kilometers. Yes, well done. Very good. I think there's someone who got 630 first, right? I think it was Ashraf. Oh, Ashraf. I think you're the first one to get 630. Ashraf, do you solve by yourself? Well done. Danish, do you try? Not really. Huh? Okay. Okay. Now let's do together. Let's do together. Okay. So welcome back. All right. Okay. Let me read the question again. Okay. And we will use this the timeline to illustrate the question. Okay. The bus traveled at a uniform speed from A to B. Okay. So the bus was traveling in this direction. It passed a car which was traveling at the speed of 80 kilometers an hour in the opposite direction. So this is the point where the bus passed the car, right? And the speed of the car was 80 kilometers per hour. So 4 hours after they had passed each other, the bus reached town B, right? After 4 hours, the bus reached town B, right? So it took 9 hours, the bus 9 hours for the whole journey. So the bus from town A to town B took 9 hours. So at this point here, where they met, the bus had traveled a distance of, had traveled a duration of 5 hours. How we get 5? 9 minus 4 hours. So 9 minus 4, 5 hours. So that means the bus took 5 hours from town A until it passes the car, right? That's why I put here 5 hours. So 4 hours after they passed each other, the bus reached town B, and the car was 30 kilometers away from town A. So the car was here, right? The car was here after 4 hours, and it was 30 kilometers away from town A. Okay, so step number 1, find the distance traveled by the car from here to here, right? Since we know the speed of the car was 80 kilometers per hour, so 80 times 4, you get 320 kilometers. So from here to here, the car traveled a distance of 320 kilometers. Okay, so the distance from here to here will be 320 plus 30 kilometers, which is 350. Now, why do we want to find the distance from here to here? Simply because it's the same distance as how much the bus had traveled, right? So the bus from town A to the point where it meets or it passes the car, it would be 320 kilometers, right? Because it will be the same distance. Okay, so since we know the time taken by the bus is 5 hours to pass by the car, and the distance the bus had traveled is 320 kilometers, so we can find easily the speed of the bus. How you find the speed? Distance divided by time. So distance is 350, and the time is 5 hours. So 350 divided by 5, we get 70 kilometers per hour. We get the speed of the bus. Okay, so then the question asks, find the distance between the two towns. Since the bus took 9 hours to travel from town A to town B, and since the speed is 70 kilometers per hour, distance is speed times time. So speed is 70, multiplied by 9 hours, you get 630 kilometers. Okay, easy peasy. Get it, Ahmad? Dani still don't understand? No problem. You need a bit more time. Don't worry, at home, later on, when you review the video, you can check again and you can review again and again. Okay? All right, let's move on to the next question. The next type, the 8th type. Now, this is not too difficult. Okay, this is not too difficult. Now, this is moving away from each other from the same point. Okay, moving away from each other from the same point. Means what? Now, let's say this is the same point, right? Okay, one student or one person move this direction, and the other student move in this direction. Okay, so sometimes they present you this type of question. All right, where they move in opposite direction, starting from the same point. All right, okay, so I'm going to show you a sample question taken from past PSLE. Okay, taken from past PSLE. Yeah, let's take a look at this question. Okay, I think some of you may have seen this question. Okay, Alice and Huda started jogging from the same point of a 5 kilometers tract around a park. They started at the same time, but in opposite direction. So Alice move in this direction and Huda moves in this direction. Alice jogged past Huda after 2 kilometers. Okay, Alice jogged past Huda after 2 kilometers. That means somewhere around here. Now, this total is 5 kilometers, right? So at some point of time, let's say after 2 kilometers, right? So Alice passed Huda here. Correct, right? So both of them did not change their speed throughout. That means their speed are uniform or the same throughout. So Alice took 40 minutes to complete one round. What was Huda's jogging speed in meters per minute? So they ask you for the speed of Huda in meters per minute. Now let me ask you this question. Can you tell me who jogged faster, Alice or Huda? Who jogged faster, Alice or Huda? And why? Okay, some say Huda, some say Alice. Look carefully at the question. Who jogged faster? Naurin, why do you say Alice jogged faster? Read carefully. I have half of you saying Huda jogged faster. I have the other half saying Alice jogged faster. Who jogged faster? Who has a greater speed? Look carefully. Some of you say Huda, some of you say Alice. The answer is Huda. The answer is Huda. But question why? Huda jogged faster. Yes. Okay. Ashraf, well done. Huda went 3 kilometers while Alice went 2 kilometers to meet. Okay, you can see here, when they meet after 2 kilometers, right? Alice jogged past Huda after 2 kilometers. So Alice jogged past Huda. So Alice here after 2 kilometers, right? So that means Alice would have jogged 2 kilometers while Huda have jogged 3 kilometers. So Huda obviously is faster. Okay, but nevertheless, this is not that important. Okay, just for your understanding. Okay, now I will give you 3 minutes to solve this question. Okay, the question asks, what was Huda's jogging speed in meters per minute? Okay, I'll give you 3-4 minutes to solve this question. All right. Three steps only. Okay, this is 3 steps. So see who's the first one to give the answer. Remember, leave your answer in meters per minute. Okay, I'll give you all a bit more time. Don't worry, if you get the answer, quickly just type out. I'm not going to say whether you get right or wrong. I'll give everybody a chance to solve the question. Some of you say 5 1/3. Some of you say 1/8. Some of you say 1 is 7.5. Okay, try, everyone. Okay. Hamza, what do you mean by you think 187.5? You try or not? Okay. Very good, huh? All right, good. The answer is 187.5 meters per minute. Okay, let's see how you solve this question. Huh? Okay, so we know that Huda is faster than Alice, right? When they meet here. Okay, so more importantly, let's take a look at all the information given to you. Okay. Now, what's the speed for Alice? Right? We know Alice, they tell you that Alice took 40 minutes to complete one round. And we know one round is 5 kilometers. So we know the distance is 5 kilometers and we know the speed. Once we know the distance, we know the speed, we can find, we know the time and we know the distance, we can find the speed easily, right? Right? Because DST, speed is distance divided by time. And now what do I do here? Now remember, they ask you, finally, they ask the answers to be presented in meters per minute. So instead of 5 kilometers, I convert 5 kilometers to meters. I think some of you did not convert, that's why you get a very strange fraction less than 1. So we need to convert from 5 kilometers to meters. So 5 kilometers is 5,000 meters. Okay, so the speed of Alice is 5,000 divided by 40 minutes, you get 135 meters per minute. So this is the speed of Alice. So at 2,000 meters, okay, which is at this point, okay, so the time taken by Alice, right, is 2,000 divided by 125. So time is distance divided by speed, right? So Alice, from here, when she met Huda, she had only jogged 22 kilometers, which is 2,000 meters. And since her speed is 125, so 2,000 divided by 125, you get 16 minutes. So Alice took 16 minutes to jog to pass by Huda, right? So in 16 minutes also, Huda would have traveled 3 kilometers, right? Huda took 3 kilometers to, before she reached, she passed by Alice, right? So in 16 minutes, Huda would have traveled 3 kilometers. So what is Huda's speed? So Huda's speed will be her distance, which is 3,000 meters divided by the time taken, which is 16. So you get 187.5 meters per minute. So you can see the speed of Huda is more than the speed of Alice, correct? Right, because for the same time taken, Huda took jogged a longer distance. Okay, easy, right? Not bad, right? This is a past PSLE question. Okay, class? All okay? Okay lah, Asfa? Danish, do you understand? Farah, very good. Okay, so I repeat one more time. Okay, so since they tell you the speed of the time taken by Alice to complete one round, Alice took 40 minutes, right, to complete one round. And one round we know is 5 kilometers or 5,000 meters. Okay, so the speed of Alice, speed is distance divided by time. Distance is 5,000 meters divided by the time taken, which is 40. You get 125 meters per minute, right? So this is the speed of Alice. So at 2,000 meters, right, Alice would have traveled 2,000 meters, but Huda, who traveled in the opposite direction, would have jogged 3,000 meters. Correct or not? How you get 3,000? 5,000 minus 2,000. So Huda took 3,000 meters before she met Alice. Okay? So let's calculate the time taken by Alice. So since Alice traveled 2,000 meters, okay, and her speed is 125 meters per minute, 2,000 divided by 125, you get 16 minutes. So 16 minutes, on the 16th minute is where Alice met Huda at this point. Okay, now Huda would have jogged from here to this point 3 kilometers. So 3 kilometers, I convert to meters, will be 3,000 meters, right? So the time taken will be the same, 16 minutes. So 3,000 divided by 16, you get 187.5 meters per minute. Okay, now take note. Some of you say that, wow, teacher, why the answer got 0.5? Surely something is wrong. So you must be confident of your answer. Doesn't mean that the answer must be in a nice whole number. Okay, So usually it's not the case. So you must be confident of your final answer. All right, class? Okay. Now, any question? Do you have any question?